Well, now more than ever, security is a top risk to all organizations. Between the high-profile breaches and regulatory scrutiny, it seems like every company is focused now more than ever on security. What that means for security professionals is that they're being asked by the board and the executive team to more clearly and crisply articulate the security risks of the organization and how they're being managed.
Quantitative cyber risk measurement is when we take time-tested models and approaches in risk management and we apply them to cybersecurity. What it does is it allows us to probabilistically model the risk that an organization faces in real business terms. In a recent study that Protiviti conducted with ESI Thought Labs called the Cybersecurity Imperative, of 1,300 companies that we surveyed, 35% use some form of quantitative cyber risk today in their risk analysis. By 2020, we expect that number to increase to 68%.
The reason that the quantitative risk approach is getting more attention is because the traditional methods that have been used have not been yielding the results that companies need. The standard approach that has been used for many years, determining likelihood and impact, comes up with a long list of gaps without much prioritization and is very difficult to tie back to dollars and cents. The quantitative approach, on the other hand, allows you to make more informed decisions that are data-driven, and that's something that has resonated with senior leaders and risk officers at some of our clients.
Cyber risk quantification is a more advanced and more accurate way of assessing cyber risk than traditional methods that rely on ordinal scales and red, yellow, green color scales. Because of this, you can now speak the same language as the rest of your risk organization. You can speak in business terms and probabilities of expected loss. This lets you answer questions that you couldn't answer before, such as, do I have enough cybersecurity risk insurance? Am I investing in the right things? Is my cybersecurity budget appropriate? So cyber risk measurement isn't a silver bullet. It's a useful piece of any risk framework. However, it is just a set of methods and techniques to measure risk. It doesn't replace common frameworks such as the NIST cybersecurity framework or ISO 27001 and 2. Doug Hubbard, author of How to Measure Anything in Cybersecurity Risk, says it's important to keep 4 things in mind. 1, that your problem is not as unique as you think. 2, you have more data than you think. 3, that you need less data than you think. And 4, the most useful measurement is probably simpler than you think.
It's a common misconception that you need a significant amount of data to leverage these quantitative risk assessment approaches. The reality of the situation is these activities can be performed with the information that you have available, regardless of how much of it you have, leveraging workshops and other methods to come to the right conclusions. There's really a couple things that we recommend when we're working with clients around this, and the first is simply education. This is a new concept. It's very different from the traditional risk assessment approaches that most of these companies leverage. Going through the process of educating from the senior leadership on down on the models, methods used, methodologies, and getting consistent with the language of the methodologies is very important. Secondly, we advise clients to start small. Pick something simple, like an upcoming project or a risk assessment, and leverage these new models to make a decision on which tool to go with, or which risks are of higher priority within your organization.